everybody! Here we are with our Wild Animals Around the World Wednesday series. Today we're actually venturing to Africa. So as Alexis sings our beautiful song here about our continents, I'm wondering if anybody has some ideas of what animals might live in Africa. Like, what do you think of when you think of Africa? So go ahead and sing for us, Alexis.
Asia, Europe, Africa, then down to Antarctica, North and South America, last of all Australia, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic and Southern too.
Very good. All around the world to Africa. Now, one interesting thing to learn is the different habitats on the different continents. And in Africa, we've got some different kinds of habitats. We have the desert area, and there's also some desert down here. In fact, it has the largest desert, the Sahara Desert. There's a significant amount of savanna, which is grasslands. Small amount of little rainforest, and also there's an island, Madagascar, over here, part of Africa, that has rainforest and some very unique creatures that live only on Madagascar. So the first one I want to share with you, and we're not necessarily going to write notes about it, but you can, but it's this adorable little eye. Of course, Alexis thought it was a little creepy. I just think he's cute. He's a nocturnal creature, and if you look at those really, really long fingers, and they almost like curve. See, it's almost like a serving spoon. So the eye will take the fingers and curve into the tree to get the bugs out and eat them all night long. So in your My Animal Notebook, we're on page number 11 already. We've gotten kind of far. So on page number 11, you have the word mammals just in the corner. So we're going to make the word African here. So this will be our title, African Mammals. So go ahead and get out your pencil. African is A-F-R-I-C-A-N. And you're just going to write that in front of mammals. African mammals, not the elephant yet, because that's actually the first one we're going to talk about. So then after you have African mammals, your first mammal that we're going to talk about is the African elephant. For those of you maybe who are new watching, what we're doing is we're taking notes. This is a really good step in learning how to research for your research report. And this is the first year in the Abeka curriculum that you'll be doing your own research report. And we're already starting to talk about how to do that with whatever mammal you chose. So what you're wanting to do today is we're just writing down a quick fact about each of these African mammals. What I like to do is I like to make bullet points. So I might do a bullet point, which is just like a little dot in front of the word. And then I'll write African elephant. Go ahead and write your African elephant. And then as I read to you about the African elephant, you're going to pick a fact. And the big fact we're going to learn about the African elephant is that it is the world's largest land mammal. Now, if you remember, we learned about the Asian elephants. They're just a little bit smaller. The African elephant is the largest land mammal in the whole world, and it is found only in Africa. There's a cute little elephant there. So there's two kinds. There's some that live in the savanna and some that live in the forest. But I would say maybe just writing the largest land mammal in the world would be a great fact to learn for your African elephant. This is the Okapi. O-K-A-P-I. Here we have the Okapi, unusual animal. And they're only found in Africa in just the Congo jungle in Africa. A very small area. Here's your Okapi. The African mystery. So I'm going to come up a little bit so you can see. Actually, you can kind of see the pictures here. So the Okapi is an unusual animal, but it may look familiar. What kind of animal does this Okapi? Yep, it looks a little like a zebra on the back. And look who we have over here. A giraffe. It looks like Mackenzie wanted to dress in shorts and tank tops because it's hot in Africa. It is very hot in Africa. You're right. It's definitely not very hot in Michigan today. It's not super cold. It's nice enough to go for a walk, but definitely not hot. Well, his body looks a lot like the body of a horse. It has stripes that make it look like a zebra, but it's actually related to the giraffe. And you'll see when you see it eating. Actually, even just 100 years ago, people didn't really know much about the okapi, and they used to call it the African unicorn because it's such a mystery. So the okapis live in the rainforest of Central Africa, which is where the Congo is right here. So there's just a very small little area of where they live. A full-grown okapi measures about 8 feet long and 5 feet tall, weighing around 440 to 660 pounds. That's quite a big range. That's like 200 pounds difference. When we see an okapi, black and white stripes, we may think it may look like the animals stand out. In the rainforest, though, the stripes actually help the okapi camouflage. So you'd think it kind of makes it stand out, but it actually camouflages with the different shapes and colors in the rainforest and in the jungle. Let's see. In the rainforest, the tall trees can block much of the sunlight from getting through. And because of this, the floor can be very dark. And then when the sun shines through, it looks like the stripes on the okapi. What a neat creature. So the male okapis have 2 little bumps on their head, just like the giraffes, and those are called ossicones. They're covered with skin and fur. Another really interesting feature is okapi has a blue tongue, and it's a long tongue too. It can actually go back and lick its ear. It's such a long one. Isn't that crazy? It can actually be as long as 18 inches. It's one of the longest tongues of any mammal in the world. That's a good fact. I know you do have one. And actually, if you want to, like, you can write more than one fact. I know Alexis already has her fact down for okapi, but if you're finding, wow, there's more things you'd like to remember, go ahead and write down more than one fact. So okapis are most active in the afternoon and early evening. They can travel more than half a mile looking for food, which actually is not that far, half a mile. They eat mostly leaves, but also twigs, grass, and fruit. They also eat charcoal and clay. They'll actually eat about 40 to 65 pounds in a day. I just want to show you the tongue a little bit better. If I can, there we go. So look at that tongue, how it can reach up. See the tongue? It can reach up very much like a giraffe. So okapis actually like to live alone, except when they have their baby, and then the baby stays with mama. They have a scent gland on their feet. So a scent gland, that's what we have in our nose to help us smell. So it's interesting they have one on their feet. It actually leaves a sticky trail in the ground wherever they go. This lets the other okapis know there was another okapi there, because they like to be by themselves. They don't really want to approach another okapi. When the okapi's in danger, it will try to hide behind the trees and plants. And if it can't hide, it'll run away. So they're pretty skittish animals too. Oh, here's the babies are always my favorite. The babies weigh about 150 pounds. Oh, and they can actually stand up 30 minutes right after they're born. And they'll be fully grown in 3 years. They look a lot like their parents. Like some, like we learned about the Camargue horses last week that start off like brown and black and they turn white as adults. Whereas the okapi pretty much looks like an adult okapi when it's born. Same coloring, same look, just quite a bit smaller. So the mother okapi will hide her babies in a nest, just like birds do. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So there's our okapi. So we've learned a lot of different facts about this creature. Is there anything that kind of stood out to everybody? I'm curious, what was your favorite part about the okapi? And what about you, Alexis? What was one of the favorite things that you learned about the okapi today?
That they have a blue 18-inch tongue.
I know, that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that long blue tongue. That's kind of cool to see. The longest tongue of any mammal. Pretty cool.
Like Polly, her tongue can go all the way to her nose. My tongue can only go like right here.
Yeah.
And it can go all the way here.
I know, it can go all the way back to its ears. I know, and I'm kind of tongue-tied, so my tongue can barely come out at all. So Alexis is going to share with us about hippopotamuses, and then the rest of you are going to be voting on our next creature. So I'll give you a little bit of a clue as to what our choices are. We have the giraffe, We have the lion, which I heard that was a favorite of someone. We have the gazelle.
Oh, yeah.
We have the gorilla and cheetah. So just in case no one picks cheetah, cheetahs are actually the fastest mammal in the whole world. And again, living in Africa. Isn't that cool? So those are going to be your choices in a little bit. So if you guys want to think about that and go ahead and tell me what your choice is. So you're going to write hippopotamus. Ooh, cheetahs. Okay, we'll definitely have to do the cheetahs then. I know I like cheetahs too, especially since you're wearing cheetah print. And I know someone else liked the lion, so maybe we'll end up doing the wildcats, right? Because we're going to do 2 more. So here's the hippopotamus. Hippopotamus. So hippopotamus is quite the word, isn't it? It's a fun word to say, though. Can you say it? Let's say it 3 times fast.
Hippopotamus, 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 hippopotamus.
Pretty tricky. So Alexis is going to share with us about the hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus live in Africa. They are often found near bodies of water.
Mm-hmm. And how much time do they spend in the water?
All day.
Mm-hmm. And that's here, look. They spend most of their day in the water. Why?
They spend most of their days in water because the African sun can be very hot. Hippos need to stay cool.
Right. So it can be super, super hot in Africa, wearing tanks and shorts and things. Right. And their food. Alexis, tell us about when they eat. So they will eat some plants in the water.
At night, hippos leave the water. They walk up to 5 miles to find grass and fruit to eat. They are often back in the water by sunrise.
Yep. So they like walking, they like eating at night. It's way too hot during the day for them to go and walk around the grasslands in Africa. So they wait till it's night and it's cool. But I was really surprised that they walk up to 5 miles. You know, a hippo is not a slender, fast creature. So for a hippo to walk 5 miles, that's a long, long ways for it to walk. So look at these little guys popping out of the water. Aren't they cute? So they have nostrils, eyes, and ears that sit on top of their head. And why do you think that is? Why do they have that on top of their head?
Because they swim in the water and they normally keep their head above the water.
Right, they do normally keep their head above the water. And if they do go underwater, tell us about what happens to those.
They close their ears, eyes, nostrils, and mouth.
Right, so they keep it all closed because they can actually only hold their breath for, I think it was 5 minutes, right? They can only hold their breath for 5 minutes. So here's their large barrel-shaped bodies. They can weigh 5,000 to 8,000 pounds. That is a big creature. So here, look at their legs. They just have short little legs. And in fact, this picture reminds me so much of a pig's body, doesn't it? It really does. They can be about 5 feet tall or 12 to 15 feet long. Ooh, Alexis, tell us about the mouths. Look at that mouth.
Hippos have very big mouths. If a hippo opens its mouth, it can be 4 to 5 feet from top to bottom.
Isn't that crazy? So I'm sure most of you 3rd graders would fit, or if you're younger, or even a little older, you would fit inside the hippo's mouth. Like you could stand inside the hippo's mouth. It's so big. And another interesting thing. It's not in this book, but something we learned, Alexis. Do they use their teeth to eat?
No.
No? What are their teeth for?
They threaten.
It's for protection. That's right. So they actually just chomp. They use their strong gums to eat. And it's very, lions. Yes, we do have a vote for lions. That's what I thought. I was thinking we'd be doing the lions book. So they actually just have really strong gums, and they'll just chomp that grass, cut it off, and they swallow it whole. So these teeth are only for defense, because they do have predators that like to eat them, like the lions and the alligators. Oh, and here's their groups. They like to live in groups. Usually about 10 will be in one group. Can you read to us about the groups, Alexis?
Hippos live in small groups. The group is led by one large male. Females, smaller adult males, and baby hippos are also in the group.
Yeah, so we read that there's usually about 10 in the group, but they can be up to 100 hippos in one group. Oh, and here's one of my favorite parts of every mammal is the baby. Oh, show me that face, Alexa. She was kind of mimicking this hippo face. Can you show me the hippo face? The baby hippo? The baby hippo kind of has a funny look on its face. So the females, they only have one baby hippo at a time. Once in a while, they'll have twins, but usually it's just one. And the baby is born at how much weight when it's newborn? 100 pounds when it's a newborn. So it looks like we have one vote for cheetah and one vote for lions. So it looks like we are doing the wildcats. Sorry, gorillas and gazelles and giraffes. Although we did do a hoofed creature already. So let's do our lions here. Lion, lion. And then you just want, as I'm reading, write down a fact. Or if you're older, or you can write more than one fact. So this is just kind of helping you with learning how to take note-taking when you're doing research.
Main spots,
So,
teeth, eyes.
What are those big cats? They're lions. And look how sweet. The mama and the baby. Lions live in a fairly large family group called a pride.
Because they have pride to themselves.
You think they're proud? Well, a lion does look, especially the male lion, it looks very proud sitting there with its mane. Look at this mane. See that? Only the male lions have the mane, so you can always tell the male and female apart. But I always feel like, yeah, a male lion always looks very proud. But look at the spots. Isn't this interesting? The baby lions actually have spots. Why do you think the babies have spots and the mamas don't?
Camouflage, just like deer.
Yep, there it is. Camouflage. So yeah, just like she says, the deer. We have the white-tailed deer here in Michigan, and the babies have all those little spots. Lions have very sharp teeth. Look at that mouth. And they do use their teeth to eat. These lions will sleep 20 hours in one day. So there we have our lions. What did you notice about the lions? The big teeth, yep. So lions have big, sharp teeth. It doesn't really tell you the size in this book, but they look pretty big to me, I'll tell you that. It looks like Mackenzie's Barbie's dressed in cheetah print, ready to learn about cheetahs next. I think cheetahs are really cool creatures. So now we're on to the cheetahs. Cheetahs are spelled C-H-E-E-T-A-H. If you want to add the S, you can. But if you just put cheetah, and then you do this little dash. And remember, we're not writing sentences for our notes. You're just writing down a simple fact, just to help you remember. So the cheetah is the fastest mammal in the whole world. They can actually run 70 miles per hour, but they sprint.
Only for a short distance.
Right. They can't run for very long, but they can go really, really fast. So cheetahs like to live in the savannah. And remember, I always saw that most of Africa was actually savannah. And that's like the grasslands. There are some trees and bushes, but it's mostly grass. They like to actually look for gazelles in the grass, which the gazelles have pretty good camouflage as well. So you can see here, cheetahs are really spread out around Africa. And they live a little bit in the Middle East too. So not just Africa, but mostly in Africa. And that's actually where they're native to. So sometimes cheetahs will climb trees to look for prey. So you can imagine being in this tall grass. Almost all the animals have natural camouflage that God gave them. So the cheetahs need to be able to see where their food is. And so they'll come up into trees. So that's kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's cute how it's kind of looking for. So why do the cheetahs have such interesting markings? They've got like the black all around their eyes and the black spots. But in particular, why do you think they have the black around their eyes? Do you have a guess, Alexis? Anybody know why they have the black?
The black around their eyes means they're girls.
No, that's a good guess because it looks like they're wearing eyeliner, right? But no, actually, the black, think about the football players and how they'll put the black under their eyes so that the sun doesn't bother them. And think about the sun in Africa. And in the grasslands, there's not much shade.
Yeah.
So they have all that black, actually. It acts kind of like sunglasses.
Eyeliner.
Yeah, I've got eyeliner on. So the cheetah has a fairly large tail. Just the tail can be 33 inches. That's pretty close. Think about that. That's almost 3 feet. They'll actually weigh between 84 and 143 pounds. So pretty big, but not giant, right? So the cheetah will use its teeth, obviously, for its prey, but it also has quite a distinctive growl sound. I don't know if you, I can't quite mimic. It's like, kind of like a lot of wildcats make a sound like that. So here we go, cheetah doing yoga. There's the cheetah arching its back.
Downward cat.
Yep, downward cheetah. But they are built for speed. They actually, and it's funny because actually they're stretching there, but they've got really loose joints. That's why they can sprint.
Whoa, children naturally.
Yeah. So look at that cheetah sprinting. 70 miles an hour. That's as fast as we can go on the highway. That is really, really fast.
But
crazy fast.
only for a short distance.
Yep, only for a short distance. And the last thing I'm going to show you about the cheetah is the parts of a cheetah. This is called a diagram. This is something you're going to be doing for your mammal research report. So on the one side, you've got the green paper with the lines. That's where you're going to write things. But that's where you're going to write your final draft. The other side, we're actually going to have you draw a picture of your mammal, and you're going to put up a diagram like this. So here's the cheetah diagram. It has the tail. This is its spine, nostrils, legs, and paws. I'm going to flip this around here, and then we're going to draw some of these fun mammals that we've just learned about. Let me grab my pencil here. There we go. All right, let me turn it around, and we're going to do some drawing, if I can figure this out. Oh, the spots and how fast they can run. Yeah. So we've got all our facts here. African mammal facts, and you can see how Alexis, where she writes down the name of the creature, does a little dash, and just writes a little fact about it. So you're not writing sentences. We're just trying to teach you how to make some notes. And this is how you research for your mammal report. So what I like to do when I'm drawing their mammals, we just kind of look to see the shapes. We've got almost like little teddy bear ears. And something that's very distinct is look at this line around his face and the dark line around the eyes. So are you ready, Alexis? We're going to start with our cheetah. So let's start with just some little, almost like a little bear ears. And kind of a longer face. Starting to look a little bit like a monkey here. I think my face needs to be a little bigger.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, yeah, that looks like too much like a monkey.
Like a lion with.
So there we go. That looks a little better, doesn't it? So here we are. Here's our little cheetah here. And then remember that one of the distinct features was the dark lines around the eyes. So we're gonna make some darker lines around the eyes. And such pretty eyes too. They've got such distinct kind of like almost like a copper colored eye. Then the other thing they have is just this swirly line that kind of goes around. There we go. And then its nose down here. And its mouth. It's got a lot of... And then the spots, I'll let you guys, everyone, we'll do our spots a little later, but we'll just kind of, their spots are irregulars. They're not like polka dots. There's like a big one and some little ones. So they're all sorts of different sizes. And we'll give them just some tufts of fur here. And then they're long, remember they have that long spine? They talked about long spine. And their tail, their long tail too. And their tail's wide. It's a fairly wide tail. And again, the tail also has spots all over it. So again, we were not going to draw all their spots. You'll have to go back and do their spots, but we'll at least give you a start. So we're going to draw, it's got fairly long legs, which help it run fast. Good sized paws. So we'll give a couple claws here and some paws here. There. And again, a slender body. It's not quite that barrel shaped like that hippopotamus is. And some long legs to help that animal run. The fastest mammal in the world. Open, we'll draw his other leg kind of hanging out over here. So there we go. There's our cheetah. And we'll go back and we'll do its spots a little later. So let's label our cheetah. Again, that's C-H-E-E-T-A-H. Cheetah. And let's do the lion over here. Although in the wild, the cheetah and lion would never hang out together. We're going to draw them together. So again, it has a lot of the similar features, but you can see, look at the difference of the ears. Look how much bigger the lion's ears are. And even his head in comparison to the body. I mean, he's bigger all around, but his head is so much larger than the cheetah's. The ears and the mane. So we're going to draw the male lion just because I like the mane. So let's make this one a little bit bigger. So let's draw his ears up here. And again, he's got a little bit of a longer face too. So give him his longer face. He has a little bit of dark around his eyes, but not quite like the cheetah does. Probably because with the cheetah running so fast, probably needs to be able to see a little bit better. There we go. And there's his nose, the lion nose. And some spots for his whiskers. And then the big feature is the mane, that lion's mane. My mom actually has a really cool painting on her wall. It's just a lion's head with this beautiful mane. I always admired it. And actually, my lion's a little on the skinny side. My lion's face is a little bit skinny.
And my lion's super fat.
So yes, I'm going to actually put mine out a little bit. That's why it's nice to draw with a pencil too, so that you can change things around. So yeah, I want to make there we go. That's a little bit better. So there's that mane. I'm going to make a crazy mane on mine. There. And he does have arch, but he's not quite as arched as the cheetah. And his tail's different too. So the tail is kind of thin with like a little tuft at the end like that. Whoops, like this. Whereas the cheetah has more of a long, so it's interesting the difference, even though they're both wildcats, the cheetah's got such a long tail. And then the lion is a little bit more of a thin tail and not quite as long. Now the lion's paws are another feature. The lion has giant paws. So we're going to give our lion some really, really big paws. Oops, maybe those might even be a little bit too big, but we wanted to accentuate how powerful he is. There we go. And a nice strong leg. And again, they're long legs, but not quite as long as what the cheetah would have. God gave the cheetah long, long legs for running. There we go. So there's our lion. Again, we'll label this one L-I-O-N, lion. Let's draw our big hippo. I think I want to use one of the pictures that shows the body. So this is what you can do too when you're drawing your mammal is, find a good picture that shows. Now this one kind of shows kind of an awkward angle. So yeah, as you're drawing too, you want to find, like here's a good one here. That one really shows the, oh yeah, the lion. Well, here's I don't know if you want to see, there's a drawing of the lion. And then here's the real lion too. With the mane, big head. You can see the bigger ears. Big giant paws. But yet the tail's a little bit thinner. So there's that lion. There's mine. Mine has a little more of a skinnier face, but I did giant paws on mine. So let's draw our hippo now. So you can see it has kind of like the barrel-shaped body. And short legs. Oh, and the other thing that is they have 4 toes, the little hippos. Do you remember hearing that? That was in one of our books. So let's draw our hippo coming from over here. Let's see. We want to do a really big barrel-shaped body. Oh, to draw the legs. Let's see. Yep. So the legs, my legs will actually look a little bit on the awkward side. And then the ones on the picture here were a little bit harder to see where they were. That's probably why mine looks so awkward. But very similar to the cheetah, just wider and bigger paws. So here we go. Here's our hippopotamus, the big barrel-shaped body. And the hippo just has a little tiny tail. Doesn't have a big tail at all. And then its head is almost like even with its body, which is kind of an unusual feature too. He's got a little bit of a longer snout. And remember, they've got just those tiny little ears that can close up when they go underwater. They do have a huge mouth. There. I'm going to draw kind of a bigger mouth. And they have fairly good-sized nostrils, again, that can close up when they go underwater. But I always thought hippos could be underwater for a lot longer, so I was surprised to find out they can only hold their breath for 5 minutes. So here we go. Here's our hippo. And then his eyes also on the top of his head. I'm going to make mine a female hippo. There we go. And then the hippos have very short but stout legs. So let's give her belly here too. And that one of the interesting things is they only have 4 toes. So I'm going to draw 4 toes. So it's kind of interesting how they're... And in fact, that's kind of a skinny leg for the hippo, isn't it? So my hippo, I guess, is a little bit of a skinnier hippo. She needs to go eat some more grass outside. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Her little claws. But yeah, my hippo, her legs are a little bit too long and skinny. I think I got used to drawing my other creatures with the long, skinny legs. So here's our sweet little hippo. We're going to label her now. H-I. Make sure you label your animals too. Hippo, P-O-T-A-M-U-S. And you probably all have it written down on your other side too. So hippopotamus. Let's fit one more in here. Let's see. We have let's do the Okapi. That's such an interesting creature. So let's see if we can draw that one. We'll try to draw its really long blue tongue too. So here's our Okapi. Very much looks like a horse and a deer at the bottom. The head reminds me more of a deer than it does a giraffe. But such an interesting creature. We don't have a lot of room left because I made my hippo a little bit too big.
And you got to fit in that African elephant.
Well, I think we'll just end up drawing the 4 of them.
I can't fit my African elephant.
Yeah. Oh, I like your Okapi. That's a good one. So let's draw our Okapi now. So it has a very, very pointed, I'm only going to end up drawing half the Okapi because I ran out of room here. So it's got a very pointed, more so than the giraffe even, more pointed than the giraffe has. And then larger ears, very much like a horse. Like the giraffe's ears kind of go down and the Okapis are kind of... And then one thing I want to draw too is I'm going to draw its long blue tongue. Look at that long blue tongue, right? And then we'll kind of come down here because I want to be able to draw the stripes on its legs. So I have to at least get some of these front legs here. So here we have one front leg here. Again, very much like a horse. So if we had room for the rest of its body, it'd be very horse-like. But then the stripes are only on, we'll draw its little hoof here. The stripes are only on its legs. So we'll just draw some stripes. And it's very interesting how different each of them are with their stripes and everything. How God made each of these creatures so unique and so interesting. Now the Okapi will actually live in the rainforest in Africa. But the lion, the cheetah, and the hippo all live near the grasslands in Africa. There he goes. And there's our little Okapi there. And then we'll go back and do more stripes on our cheetah. Let's see Alexis's. She's got some cute ones too. There's her hippo. She has her lion, her cheetah.
Cheetah's a little small and a lion's a little fat. But...
That's all right. Mine are a little lopsided too. So we've got all of our fun creatures there. And then I just wanted to show you here in your mammal book, while we have you turned around here. So on page number 5 is where our research report, my mammal report. So on this side is where we're going to put our final draft, but you're not taking your research notes on this paper. You actually want to use a separate sheet of paper. This far side here is actually going to be where you're going to draw your mammal, as well as label it like the diagram showed. And we'll be showing you a little bit more about how to do a research report. So I'll show you, I'm going to actually use the African elephant as my guide to show you. And Alexis is going to do hers on dogs. We actually haven't gotten all her books from the library yet. So I think they're coming in either tomorrow or Friday. So because we have a library system in Michigan that allows you to check out books all around other libraries too. So we will show you more and more about how to do your research report. But the first thing that you need to make sure you do, you pick your mammal, and you want to get at least 3 books from the library, I'd say. You can use the internet as well, but make sure you do it with parental supervision and make sure your parents are there with you. And so just to be safe, it's always good to be safe. So I want you to just write down some facts. There's some things you're going to gather information about. You're going to gather information about kind of describing the animal. How much it weighs, how tall it is, the coloring. Another thing you're going to look up is where it lives. Where in the America does it, or not America, where in the world does it live? Most of them probably don't, most of your creatures probably don't live in America. So where in the world does it live? What habitat does it live on? And one thing you want to make sure you do is we don't want to do what's called plagiarism. So I'm going to give you an example of how you would, actually a lot of times what we're doing with notes and everything is very much helps you not copy down the exact words. Let me just show you this book real quick. So on this book for the Okapi, how it says, Okapis are most active in the afternoon and early evening. They can travel more than half a mile every day looking for food. So you wouldn't, when you take your notes, you wouldn't write those exact words. You would actually write maybe just most active in afternoon and evening, early evening. You could put travel half a mile for food. So you can do, you'll write down what the true facts are, but you just won't copy word for word. And that's why you actually write down facts before you write your sentences for your report, because that helps you not copy down books, because it's easy, especially when the sentences are pretty basic, it's easy to just copy down what the book says. So we'll show you more and more details. I think we're going to try to do the video tomorrow, kind of helping everyone out with how to gather their information, right? About your mammals. But we appreciate you joining us, and we only have 2 more stops, North America and South America, and then we'll have completed our journey around the world, learning about all sorts of mammals.
She got her first arm in.
Oh yeah. So we just gotta fix it a little bit. Maybe by next Wednesday you'll see it. So bye everybody. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see ya. Oh, let's see, for Africa, I'm wearing cheetah print vest and cheetah print sleep mask. Ooh, that's fun. I didn't quite have cheetah print, so mine's animal. Although actually, I have little slipper booties that are cheetah print, but you can't quite see those. Yeah, we didn't really have too much. We were talking about, we have these giraffe onesies, but she didn't want to wear our mommy and me giraffe onesies, so we decided to go with a little bit of animal print that we have. I like the cheetah mask. That's a good idea. You may have gotten a little bit of a glitch there because my mom just tried to call. Sorry, my mom tried to call again, so that it might have glitched again when she likes your doll. So we just got out our Thanksgiving decorations.
She doesn't have arms.
No.
These are her arms. They're broken, but...
Yep. So that's what we have, a little Native American girl and a little Pilgrim girl. And Alexis has loved these so much that the arms fell off, but now she knows how to sew. Yep, here's our sweet little Native American girl. And so now that she knows how to sew, she's actually going to fix those little arms on her little.
And this is her little bag.
So we like to decorate for holidays and seasons and things.